This is the install video of Lightforce LED Genesis to Holden, Colorado. A list of tools needed. So taking the lights out of the box, the lights come with the tails on the back of the harness there. So you'll see there the 4-pin connector at the back of the harness, which will go into our 4-pin connector from our wiring loom. We're going to use the Lightforce switches for this install. So there's a specific switch for the Colorado and the D-Max, which will fit into the switch panels on both of those cars. So lay the loom out, get all your distances from the distance from your relay to the lights, and then we've got the 3 pickup points with also our ignition wire for our daytime running lights and nighttime position markers. Our switch wiring will run through, they need to go into the cab directly. We'll run through how to wire them inside the switch, and there's our Deutsch 4 pins. Gaining access inside the Colorado, lay the harness out. The battery's on the left-hand side of the engine bay in this vehicle, so the relay and our fuse will keep it all to the left-hand side of the car. And there's our switch wiring. That's going to go through on the left. There's a grommet at the rear left of the engine bay, which we're going to go inside the cab. Remove the horn. We need to run the wiring through behind the left headlight. It's a lot easier if the horn's out of the way, so we can take that out of the way to give us better access. To get the wires to the back of the engine bay and then laid out through into the cab, tape all the switch wiring together. We just cut an old coat hanger or something, and then we can just a piece of wire which we can then tape the switch wiring to give us nice easy access through the rubber grommet into the cab of the vehicle. We've gone in behind the windscreen washer filler neck there, into the back of the engine bay, back left corner of the engine bay. There's plenty of room where we can bundle up our wiring, keep it all nice and neat, and then we'll access the engine bay, the cabin of the vehicle directly. We're securing the fuse and relay holder at the back of the engine bay there. Wiring needs to come through, run it underneath the battery cradle. Keeps it out of the way, and then down behind the headlight we can run it through. So we like to lubricate the wiring there where it's going to run through, and the grommet where we pierce to go inside the car. Silicone spray on the switch wiring will make it easy to pull through the rubber grommet into the passenger side footwell. Leave the wire attached, makes it nice and easy to go over the top of the transmission tunnel there and pull it out in the driver's side footwell where we're going to run the switch wiring up to connect to our switches. We need to find a power source to run our daytime running lights. So the power source needs to be activated with ignition only. So we need to find an ignition source underneath our dash. We can use our clip lock connectors to go onto our ignition source to run our daytime running lights. Take out the coin tray underneath the light panel and then pop the light switch out. We need to find a dash illumination source to illuminate our light switch. So we can see here, this is an LTZ Colorado. We've used one of the yellow wires on the back. You can see there, light tester powered up. As we turn the headlights on and off, we're getting a dash illumination power supply. Pop the instrument cluster surround off and then the switch blank out, and there's our wiring for the high beam switching and our daytime running lights and nighttime position lights, the 2 switches for both those circuits. Once the switch wiring's run up through, we can pop it back out of our instrument cluster surround there. Makes nice and easy access to put our switch in, and the switch, this is designed for the Colorado and the D-Max, and it'll push in there. Looks nice and neat in the battery instrument cluster surround. We need to find a high beam switching circuit. So with the light switch to high beam, we need to make sure that we're getting a high beam. These are a positively switched vehicles, so nice easy install. We need to make sure that we're getting a high beam power source. Earth point there next to the battery, so we can use that for our earth point for our headlights. Power supply, we haven't gone direct to the battery, we've gone to the fuse box. Nice easy install there, and we've picked up a power supply from the back of the fuse panel there. Securing the fuse holder, this needs to be secured so we can access it at a later time if needed. And then securing the lights to the bull bar, we need to tension these up so they won't move. Running the Deutsch 4-pin connector through the grille. There's plenty of room on the Colorado grille to run through. And the Deutsch 4-pin connector that needs to be from the harness, needs to be connected to the lights. Re-secure the horn and then close up the bonnet and test light operation.